Hey, welcome back to the channel. Where we left off yesterday, we're going to put urethane on that today, and hopefully more than just that. I want to get as much of that done as I can. We got, of course, all of our fabric, all of our reinforcing tapes, all completed. The only thing I have to do yet is I have to put these on right here. I already did this side over here, so I have to just do this side. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then after I get that installed, then we're going to begin sealing up this fabric. We'll have to use, since we're adhering the fabric to the side, to the plywood areas, we're going to be using full strength glue. And same procedure, we'll just do a little section, and for this I'll be using a foam brush instead of the other brush. We'll do a little section and then we'll wipe off the excess, and while we're wiping it off we'll be kind of forcing it down into the adhering to the wood like we did like right in this area here. And then when we get to the open areas like back here, we'll be mixing, I had the ratio wrong yesterday, it's actually 25% distilled water to 75% glue, and we do that with a gram scale. You mix it by weight, so well, I'll show you that shortly. First I'll get this little piece on, and then we'll start on these plywood areas, getting those sealed up. We'll probably have to do, I might be able to do both of these at the same time and then flip it over and do the other two sections at the same time. But when I do that, I should come in here and do, actually this will get caught up in the other because it's stretched over it nicely. I'm not concerned about that. All right, we are back in the shop and back to work. Really simple process. So we're just brushing this down through the weave good, and it changes color right away, so you can definitely see where it's gone through there. Now your areas where your tapes and stuff are, there's no reason to do those because they're already sealed up, and so getting that on is one thing, but when you finish wiping it off, that's when you really get a chance to really force it down, and I can see I've got like really good adhesion all the way through there. So another tip that I didn't mention that you find on the Stewart Systems site is if you take your cup, just now that I'm going to be dealing with thinner material and thinner glue and stuff like that, you just take your cup and you just use your adhesive and you glue it to a bowl or a plate or something like that, then you don't have to worry about tipping it over. So super helpful.
It's real easy to see where you didn't get enough on because it turns white on you. All right, so I'm going to continue on and get this done, and then get this part done here, and this part right here. I've already done that part. This part here and this part here, and then I'll catch back up with you. And I'm just letting this glue dry over here, and I'll actually iron that tape in place since I'm dealing with these curves and stuff. And then after I iron it in place, I will, of course, glue it on. And I wanted to show you, I don't think I showed you the other day, on some of these curves, I guess if you pull hard enough, you can get a regular tape to make this sharp of a curve, and then slowly work your iron down. But I just chose to make 3 cuts. I've got one here, here, and here, basically where the curve starts, and then the middle, and then the other end of it. And I do that on this tape, on this tape, on this tape, and this tape. It's just easier, and it works good for me. So that's just an option. Actually, you do that in a number of places where you have to cut the tape, like where it laps over joints. Obviously, we had to cut it there. It's just part of the deal. I just wanted to make sure that you understood that as an option to go around really sharp curves. So, okay, back to gluing. Got this whole area here taken care of. Everything glued down perfectly. Even that, I just had a slight little wasp right in here where it's just a little bit concave. Attached, no problem. Didn't even have to think about it. So now I'm just working on this side. Just getting this section right here taken care of. And reminds me, I gotta get that. You want to keep your areas small when you're doing this, so that the glue doesn't get ahead of you and start to set up. So keep them a little bit smaller. You have no problems. All right, I'll keep going. All right, so I was able to get all of this on 3 sides. It's looking really good, so no problems there. And then I was able to get the bottom here. So I got the bottom, one side, and the top. As soon as this dries well, probably another 20 minutes or so. It's not really warm in the hanger yet. As soon as it warms up a little bit, things will start drying a lot quicker. But I started urethaning the elevator and the stab, and I'll get the stab and rudder over here. And I'm getting that first kind of thinned out coat on, and then I'll get these guys unburied and get those over there. All right, yeah, so I'm going to keep urethaning while that's drying, and then I will I'll check back in with you. All right, I got my first coat on most of that, and this is now dry and ready to flip over. So I'm going to turn the fuselage over here, and we'll be able to get that last piece, and then we can go back and do the open areas. So it's now flipped over, and we will do the last side here that's left to do. That's me and my friends here. We're gonna do this. So I'll get this done, and then after that we'll be able to hop to doing this part here. All right, so let me get this part done, and then we'll catch up. I keep saying that. Maybe I should have a little meat and cheese first. I think maybe I'll do that. Some meat and cheese, do the side, and then keep moving. All right, so I've cleaned the fabric, and now we're ready to put on this seal the weave in the open areas. So I've got my scale here, and I'll just tear it out, which just means it's gonna, make it go to 0. And then I'll put some glue in here. So that's about 31. 32. So that's 33 grams of glue. So we'll set that aside. All right, so that was 33 grams of glue and 11 grams of water. And so now I've got that all here, and I would just mix that up good. Make sure that's good and mixed. And now we go fill the weave. And you can see that's it's pretty runny, so that's what we want. Now these diagonals are riding like just below the surface here. So when I come back and I kind of tip this, I'm just making sure that that I haven't like touched the cross member and then it leaves a void in the glue. So, and it's like if I press down on that and pick it up, now you can see there's a dot there where it transferred that glue to the cross member, and I don't want to do that, so being careful about that. And I was just gonna kind of go to this till I hit the next vertical here. And I just come back and smooth it all out in the same direction. All right, then you can see that looks really good. So that's what we're looking for. Just a nice even coat, making sure that everything is all the weave is filled. And it's pretty easy to tell right away because there's such a drastic change in color if you don't fill the weave. So I'll answer the phone and I'll be right back. All right, so I've got that all done. It's starting to dry here. Once that's dry, then I'll be able to flip this over and do the top side, which will, and we'll just keep moving like that. And right now, everything is looking really good, so that's what we're hoping for. All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna go back over here and do some more urethaning so that when this is done, we can just keep rolling. One of the things I have to do before I put the urethane on this vertical stab is I have to put my camera mount in here. So I'm gonna come back, get a measurement. Looking down underneath, I want to be probably back somewhere around 1.5 inches from the top. So we'll come back 1.5 inches. So I'll put us right about here. I have these 1/4 20 anchors that I bought. I think I got them at McMaster Car, and because all the helicopter, all of the camera equipment is actually, everything is based around a 1/4-20, so I'm gonna put these in, and then when I put the camera on, I'll be able to use a jam nut. So I'll just put a stud in, and then put a jam nut on the bottom, and then use 2 jam nuts to hold the camera where I want it, because I can just screw the camera on, and I would show you right now, but you know what cameras have 1/4-20. So I'm going to drill a 5/16 hole. All right, then I'll just give myself a little pilot hole. So that'll get me started. I'll put my 5/16 in. I'll drill that out. So 1/4 inch is good at the top. I just need the 5/16 for the flange on that thing. So I got to go about half the depth of this. All right. That seemed a bit like a struggle bus for something really simple. But that's okay. It happens. So I just soaked the top with NCA to harden that area. So I wanted that to just soak in there really good. I might even put a little more on because that's disappearing in a hurry. So put another little bit of this on here. Whoa, hello. Let me get away from me there. All right, so that takes care of this side. Now all we got to do is flip it over, and we'll get our insert here. And now I can screw this in after I get it urethaned, and it'll look like that. And then all I got to do is just mount my camera on my tail, and I'll also have one on the wingtips. So we got a lot done today, which I feel very good about. So what we got these holes drilled for where the bracket goes. It holds the aileron cable on the outside. got these holes drilled for where the cable exits the fuselage. Has to be has to be a 1/2 inch hole because the threads on those cables are 1/2 inch. I'll put a grommet on that. That'll get a bracket. You can see that I got all the fuselage finished with the sealing of the weave. Then some things that you didn't see that I had on my list that I needed to pick up was some of these reinforcement doilies for where bracket goes, where the cable exits the fuselage. This one is really probably not that necessary because it actually is exiting the wood, but it doesn't hurt to have an extra support there. There's those two over there, where the steering arm comes out, where the cable comes out for my elevator trim. We'll be cutting a slot in that for the cable to exit and be able to move a little bit freely in there. This whole side's done. So what that means is that the fuselage is ready for paint. So tomorrow I'm going to actually pick up some paint. I've got my Hawker Hurricane colors all picked out, and get some paint. Of course, we'll start with the bottom, and then after I got like all of this, I actually got all of the I got the first coat on all of this. The second coat will go really fast because the first coat you're going against dry wood and it takes a little longer, and the second coat I can fly through, so that as I'm working on this and while things are drying, I can jump to this and start covering this. So we're in a really great spot, and I hope you're enjoying this. I know we're kind of a long, tedious covering process, but man, I just couldn't be happier with the way this all laid out. I mean, it's just perfectly adhered to the fuselage all the way around, and I love it. My engine case, by the way, Scott gave me the option of choosing my own color, so I picked Detroit Diesel Green, and I'm also going to get some of that Detroit Diesel Green paint, and I'm going to paint this interior of the engine area the same color, so that'll be really cool. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, and I will catch you later.